What is up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode 51 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And as you can see, it's Scott. And I didn't die from eating 2 bites of that cereal last week.
We're all alive.
Yay! None of us got poisoned.
We are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on, everybody?
Hello. We have some people already. Adam O, Matthew's Nerdy Nation, Admiral Funko, hello, and thanks for joining.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming on.
Shout out to Admiral Funko. I love the new logo. Saw that you also got shirts made too, so that's awesome.
And the new podcast. 2 episodes.
And the new podcast.
Nice. Congrats.
So, congrats. All right, guys. So what has been going on this week? It's been a busy week.
It's been a real busy week. I have a bone to pick with Larry. I'm just gonna go ahead and start off right there with this.
We have a special project this week.
Yeah, we had Larry tasked us with something.
Well, Scott, before we do that, so we did something cool on Thursday. Man.
I was gonna save that one, but yeah, we did do something cool. All right, let's go into that first off. But let's table what I'm gonna table my anger at Larry here. We'll come back to
already fuming.
I am.
Jeremy, what did you and Scott do on Thursday?
On Thursday night, I said we had a very special event come to town where me and Scott had some VIP tickets to actually go and meet the one, the only Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob. That dude was freaking hilarious, man.
It was an awesome show. Like you think it was gonna be like stand up, like you said, it's not stand up. He just is a funny storyteller. Like he's the type of person that you tell a story, and even when he goes on tangents, like you follow along with, like, even with the tangents and everything. Like it's just a funny experience.
Yeah, it's not stand up at all. He literally just tells life stories. So like some of the life stories that he told, like, so for example, he with any of his shows that he does, whether it's Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, that podcast, or his amusing stories, as he calls this show. He basically always leads off with a sex story, and then I think he always goes into basically the last time he had sex, and it's always the most interesting, amazing thing in the entire world. Just because he goes into so this time he was playing Fortnite, and then he's like, hey, do I actually go have sex, or do I go play Fortnite, sex or Fortnite? And he had to battle between the two, and and eventually one of them won. It was the second. But then he also talks about, like I said, like the last time he had a massage, like it ended up turning into one of those like happy ending massages almost.
Yeah, not once but twice.
Yeah, in the same week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time. And then
my favorite not knowing though was when he talked about the fact that he had to audition for a role that he had played already.
Oh, you didn't know that, Scott? I before.
I knew that he had to. I did not know when he started dropping the names of people that he had to audition against, and that apparently they had Seth Green on retainer in case he didn't work out. Yeah. That was cool knowledge to know.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, so Jason Mewes, like I said, plays Jay, so basically the other part of Jay and Silent Bob. So he was in Clerks, so because like I said, he's best friends with Kevin Smith. And then the next movie after that, I said they got the funding from Universal to go do Mallrats. And so Mallrats was going to be a major Hollywood production. So like I said, it worked out a little bit differently. So Kevin Smith's character was in there, and I said, and he was directing and everything else like that. But the studio didn't like the idea of casting someone who had literally zero acting experience, didn't have anything else going on for him, strung out on drugs, and didn't have, like I said, formal training or anything else like that. So Jay, the character Jay from Jay and Silent Bob in these movies, was almost Seth Green.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. So they had cool. Some cool things, but yeah, we'll try to see here. I don't know how well this is going to translate, but it's kind of washed out. But there we go. That's Ghostface us meeting Jason Mewes. So that was amazing.
Nice. I know, Jeremy, you posted one on your Instagram too, right?
Yeah, no, here I'll show you guys exactly what that is.
So I know we were talking about this, but you said that when you met him on stage, he like took your phone and started doing selfies.
So here, let me
That's really cool.
So as he goes up here and he pulls it up, he takes a picture and then he started taking photos and changed the pose around. So he just kept. And
he took like 15, 20 photos like of each of us. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So every time he changed his pose, I kept changing mine, and he was laughing. So it was pretty good. It was
Hold on. Bring that back up, Jeremy, and just talk for a second so we can see it.
All right. So here is me and Jason Mewes hanging out. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So is he like a really nice guy?
Dude, he's super nice. Like
super nice.
Super nice. Well, that and like so me and Scott had like primo seats. We were literally like one seat away from the front of the stage.
Nice.
And then we had like probably the best table mates in the entire world.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a couple in our next was. They were freaking awesome. I don't remember his name, but he was a firefighter.
Dude, no, it's firefighter Bob.
Firefighter Bob, yeah.
Firefighter Bob.
But in his backyard, like I said, he literally had like an entire like arcade pinball machine. Like he had probably like 15, 20 pinball machines.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was like showing pictures of like, oh yeah, you guys, should come hang out and this, that, and the other. Like I'm part of this like Easy Pinball Alliance thing and this, that, and the other. Like it was, like I said, it was a good time.
So in his house?
I guess you didn't grab his contact info.
Yeah, we kind of
Google firefighter Bob either. There's a
yeah, I wouldn't do that because I'm assuming there's probably some bad stuff on that Google.
Safe search off.
Yeah, safe search on. Yeah, safe search on with that one. I don't know, maybe that guy did do it, but he was part of the pinball thing, so I feel like it might be fairly easy to get in touch with him. So
yeah, so we will get in touch with Firefighter Bob because that guy was legitimately cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, me and Scott, we had a good time. Like I said, it went late too. Like it started at 8 and we didn't get out until like 11:30.
Well, yeah, it was super late.
I'm very happy that Seth Green did not get that role.
Yeah. Well,
it would have been interesting, to be honest. Now I tried to think about it like later, like how would that have worked? And I don't know if it would have worked. Yeah.
90s Seth Green.
Yeah.
Can't hardly wait. Seth Green was in the end.
Yeah. It would have been around that time too, actually.
One of the rom-coms of all time. Can't hardly wait.
Yeah.
Rom-coms.
Oh, no.
Larry, I see what you did there.
Of all time.
So I'm bringing it back here to that one because that's why I have a bone to pick with you, Larry.
Fine. We needed a topic for this week's episode, and I'm like, guys, this movie, To All the Boys I've Loved Before on Netflix, is all over my Instagram feed. People are watching it saying like, hey, I've watched it 3 times already. It just came out last week. Like one of the best movies on Netflix. You got to check this out. This, that, bam, bam. I'm like, guys, I got a great podcast topic. We're going to watch To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Can I tell the story of why I didn't want to watch it, though? Like, I think I need to bring that up.
You want to watch a teenage rom-com.
So literally Monday, you tell me,
"Yep,
hey, we need to watch this movie for this week's podcast." The day before, my wife was like, "Hey, let's watch this movie together. It's supposed to be really cute," and I went, "Nah, fuck that shit." It was just generally awful. It just at least like in my mind at the time, and then Larry's like, let's watch it. So I had to crawl back to wife and be like, I'm sorry, sweetie, Larry wants me to watch that movie, and then I got in trouble with the wife.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she did not like that. What
Not
Larry wants is more important than what I want, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, you won't watch it when I ask you, but when Larry jumps on, it's all okay. Yeah, she's in the chat right now giving those some shade. So,
well,
I'm just looking at her emojis right now.
Yeah, these are pretty violent.
Words, knife, coffin.
Yeah, I'm in for a wonderful night.
So Larry, how do you feel about getting Scott killed?
Because you almost did, Larry.
Hashtag always and forever, or Gene. Sorry.
Hey, Larry, I know what can make this all better.
What?
Can you give Scott your scrunchie?
Not my favorite.
That was my favorite scrunchie.
Dude, first off, scrunchies are no one wears scrunchies anymore. Okay. Like, let's just go with that one.
I gotta say, when Larry first brought this idea up, I was a little surprised, and I was like, "Really? Like, we're gonna talk about that?"
The whole time, I was like, "Oh hell no! There's no way in hell I'm watching that damn movie."
See, I always have faith in Larry's ideas, but this one definitely threw me for a loop. But I will say, I got confirmation of that when I talked to my girlfriend about this movie. I was like, "Hey, you want to watch this cool movie on Netflix I'm interested in?" She's like, "What? You don't normally watch movies like that." I'm like, "It's for the podcast." And that made her even more confused.
Wait.
She's like, "Wait, I don't understand. Aren't you guys talking about like comics and video games and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, exactly."
Nate, Nate, Scott, Larry, like I said, this is just a show that we all have a sensitive side too. Like I said, not only can we talk about like comics and all everything else out there underneath the sun, but we can literally shoot the shit about anything. And what better thing to shoot the shit about than something that's so super popular right now, so uber popular, than the movie To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Dude,
but wait,
Spin Master Jeremy, that was amazing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but wait, there's more.
Oh yeah, because so as soon as like Tuesday came around or whatever, and I posted up the image like, "Hey guys, hey world, we're gonna be talking about To All the Boys I've Loved Before." Multiple people jumped in and were like, "You guys have to watch the other Netflix original movie, The Kissing Booth." So guess what? We watched 2 Netflix rom-coms: To All the Boys I've Loved Before plus The Kissing Booth.
Yeah.
Reviews and reactions from 2 movies. We're going to decide. It's going to be an all-out teenage rom-com war
between 2 Netflix originals.
Well, Matthew's Nerd Nation, he basically said, "Hey, I want to know. I missed you guys all while I was on vacation." Well, Matt, like I said, you're in for a treat. Welcome back to Rom-Com Saturday.
We're watching
a real treat, Matt.
We're legitimately talking rom-coms. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I have to ask. I turned my video off. Is my audio better?
No,
it's still
a little spotty.
Go ahead and turn your video back on, Larry. You're fine.
Sorry, world.
Yay.
My mic. I guess you don't buy the $10 mics off Amazon.
Larry, I'll give you another mic on Tuesday.
We'll see if we can test that one out. See if it's the mic.
Jeremy and I had a conference call like at 2 hours ago, and it was fine. So I don't know what happened. So my apologies for my crappy audio. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I will try to talk as loud as humanly possible without waking the neighbors.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey.
All right, Larry. This was your topic, so take it away.
Yeah.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before. What did you guys think?
Can we go through real quick before we do that? So since we watched both movies, just so we can get into like what we thought about it and everything else like that, can we basically name what we liked out of the 2? What our favorite is?
Oh, are we team To All the Boys or team Kissing Booth?
Which team are we? Are we team Kissing Booth or are we team All the Boys I Loved Before?
Oh, okay.
All right. So Larry, since you kicked us off, what is your vote for between the 2?
Best To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Boom. Nate.
To All the Larrys I Loved Before.
Oh, Scott.
To All the Nates I've Loved Before.
Yay.
And me. To All the podcasts I've loved before.
No. So we're all team To All the Boys.
Oh, totally. Like I said, if I had what's the vote, Larry?
So I threw up a poll on our Instagram earlier today.
Who's winning?
And also agree, 71% To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, that movie was hands down 100 times better, I thought. Than that. But we can get in that here in a little bit. All right. So Larry, you're saying what our initial thoughts were regarding the movie, correct?
Yeah, what'd you guys think? Characters, plot, how did it make you feel?
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go. I can go through this one. So, which one am I talking about, though? Like,
All the Boys. We're talking about
All the Boys. Okay, so that's the one. So, because I was gonna say, if we're starting with the Kissing Booth, get ready because I got a whole dump truck of shit to drop on that movie. All the Boys I Loved Before. I was actually the thing I was most surprised about is how relatable the characters were. Like the dialogue itself felt normal, like it was real. Like you could actually tell like somebody thought about like how would people actually talk in that sort of situation, and actually read it. Like most rom-coms, kind of and kind of crappy movies fail at that a lot. Actually, is that just banter between two people, like when they're just sitting in like a cafe or whatever it was, you know, the little diner that they were in. It's like they have real conversations that you could be like, okay, yeah, I actually believe what they're saying, or like believe that what they talk would be what, you know, two high school juniors or whatever would say. So like that was the thing that got me, is like I was actually very good, like surprised at the dialogue, and the characters were just relatable. Like you understood why they were doing the way they are.
Oh, I think go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think Scott kind of hit the nail on the head there. It didn't feel forced when I was watching All the Boys I Loved Before. It's weird, you know, saying that title, because I don't watch movies like that, but I actually kind of legitimately enjoyed this movie. It was just really well done.
We're just going to call it Tat B from now on. Tat B.
Yeah, the acting was really good, and the story was believable, and it felt, like I said, not forced, and it was like a modern, you know, view, and I don't know, it was cool. My girlfriend really liked it. I liked it. It was definitely the better of the two.
Like I'll tell you this, I started like watching, and the whole time I was sitting like this, just like on the phone, like trying not to pay attention. By the end of it, I had set the phone down, was like actually like, oh, like I'm actually kind of curious as to what's going on in this movie. I read a couple reviews of it, and somebody said it best when they said that this movie is super predictable and it hits a lot of the rom-com tropes, but because it's so well like executed and the dialogue and everything, that it like you don't really mind those tropes. And that kind of sat home with me. I was like, that is exactly the way to describe this movie.
No, Scott, like I said, you just hit the nail on the head right there. Like it was I said, it was a very predictable but enjoyable movie. And I think the reason why I liked it so much, because it actually harkened me back to actually one of my other favorite rom-coms, which is 10 Things I Hate About You. So with so it hit a lot of those points that were in that movie, like so where it was like the fake relationship, just because like I said of kind of the different things going on with the fake relationship, and that ends up turning out to be, sorry, we didn't throw out the spoiler tag, so if you haven't seen the movie, except there's going to be spoilers, just FYI. Larry's laughing right now because I'm talking about spoilers for
spoiler tags for rom-coms.
Everybody in here is so eager to watch this now.
Yeah. So I said it reminded me a lot of that, just because I said of that fake relationship that turns into that real relationship at the end, and I think the reason why I liked it so much is just because it gave you characters to like and characters to hate. Jen was a complete bitch. I hated. She was awful. She was an awful human being. Like I said, I literally wanted to punch her in the face.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Well, go ahead, Scott.
That was my one major thing with the movie. Like the lengths that girl went for the whole situation. Like while she technically like, you know, oh, I have the other boyfriend, whatever, and she's insecure, but like the shit that she does was almost too much. You know, like where I was like,
all the ski shit. Like, so for example, when they come back from the ski trip, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? You know, he was in my room last night, and you know, we slept together in the same room. I'm glad that you're more comfortable with that. Oh, and then he gave me this cool looking scrunchie. You know,
yeah. All the while it's perpetuating the whole like she fucked him in the hot tub thing. Like I was like, damn, that's a little too far. Like, give me one or the other, but I think doing both at the same time is like it's too evil for a high school girl to be able to actually like perpetrate.
Dude, and she sat on the scrunchy thing for months.
Yeah,
that's what the weird thing is. Like, since she had that scrunchie for months,
forever.
Yeah, seriously, the timing was a little odd.
Because
wow, you're gonna
just
drop
save that
now.
for She saved it for the opportune moment. She's like, I got this. They're gonna hook up in the hot tub at the ski trip, and I'm saving this shit.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up though, just because I'm like, I'm like, because I was wondering, because it was such a pointed out deal in the bathroom of like their first party.
Happening with the scrunchie.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on with this scrunchie? And then boom, right back into it at the end. I'm like, look, there's the scrunchie.
So can I point out one other thing that was I caught? Like, it's very rarely that I catch editing mistakes, but I did catch one in this movie. And the wife is actually the one that caught it, and we brought it up here. But she's in the hot tub. She's wearing the same clothes from the hot tub when she goes back to bed.
Oh, that's weird.
And they're not wet. They're like dry. I'm like, so like it was one of those things where I was like, is that the same clothes she was in the hot tub in? I was like, yeah, I think it is. She's like, why are they not wet? I'm like, we caught an editing error first viewing.
One early on when they're writing down the rules or whatever for their relationship. He writes ski trip really sloppy or whatever, and then the ski trip changes like 3 or 4 more times in different handwriting. Yeah, continuity, kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Fix for the sequel, guys.
Yeah. Which is inevitable, I will say, with this one. With the popularity of this movie and the setup at the very end, it is inevitable.
Yeah. Or we're going to get together and watch it, right? Like sleepover?
Oh, yeah. STS Guys rom-com night.
So,
PJs, popcorn, and rom-coms.
So me and Scott, so kind of harkening back to the Thursday night when me and Scott saw Jason Mewes. Me and Scott were actually talking about this. We were actually talking about STS Guys camping trip, podcasting on a camping trip. And what I can do is I can bring the projector. I said we can watch the movie. Maybe we can go to the lake.
We'll go skinny dipping, and we'll just roast some marshmallows. Like, you're not really selling this, Jeremy.
So, there is something I want to say about this movie, and it's not really like a negative thing. It's just more of like keeping it real, I guess. This movie, like, these are high schoolers, and it felt really safe. Like, you know, I don't know. It just expect these kids to be
waiting for some titties to pop.
No, I was not.
Like,
I don't want that to happen.
Drop.
But you know, at least this guy, he's like a jock, and he's doing this fake relationship with this girl, who clearly at some point shows that she doesn't really like him. She's like, I don't like you. I like this other guy. I would expect this guy to eventually start hooking up with other girls at some point.
Dude,
maybe that's just the jocks that I saw in my high school.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
this guy was really nice.
This guy's also fairly like awkward, and it seems like it's kind of small townish. Like, no one's hooking up with anybody in that shit without everyone else knowing.
As the football player jock that you were in high school, are you speaking from experience?
Yeah,
dude, that is so far from what I was in high school. I was a skinny geek, not a jock at all.
None of us know that pain, Nate. It's fine. We can all admit this.
So we have some ideas in the chat that's been going on. So Nicola, she said we should all get matching PJs in live stream, and then see follows up with onesies.
Dude,
I'm only going with onesies if it has one of those butt flaps in the back.
The butt flap. You gotta have the butt flap onesies.
I would totally.
I'm not going with any of those. I'm not going with like a romper. Not doing that. Sorry, it's too complicated to try to shit. But I think we should make some STS Guys jammies. Just a bunch of
specific
all over it.
Is that from past experience? Like you wore that and you're like, man, this is really hard to poop in this thing.
No, I have a toddler. Like, it's at the point of like trying to take those things off, and then I see adult women running around with rompers. I'm like, I know what you have to do to use any sort of restroom with those. Those are the worst clothing choices to ever make.
All right, fair point.
All right. So, also, there's some other interesting facts that I want to point out about this movie. There's some other things that I actually really liked, and other things that I'm like, man, I can't believe they actually did a couple of different things. Like, they did the whole stereotype of bad Asian drivers.
Dude, I was laughing the whole time. That it's like the Asian driver lady that doesn't want to drive because she's a bad driver. Like,
in our PC world, I can't believe we went there.
Wait. But that teen driver.
But because they're the one that's acknowledging it, I think it's kind of okay, right?
I didn't get that at all. Because Kissing Booth, she doesn't want to drive either. I think it's just bad teen drivers. I think you're reading way too much into it.
Maybe I am, but Scott, I think you're on the same page as me, right?
My wife also brought it up. She's like, "Are they making fun of Asian
Oh my
drivers?"
god, yes. Heather's on my page too.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh, yes, I pointed out to Scott. So
Yep. Yeah, we both were pointing out the whole thing.
This movie was empowering to Asian American women. Come on, what other movie are going to see an Asian American girl as the lead? You guys are taking it all wrong. They're making fun of teens.
Yeah, they are. They did point out. My wife, in the chat, she brought up that they did bring up the whole Asian stereotypes in 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Yet committed their own Asian stereotype in the movie.
Larry, I do have to ask you this, Larry. Just as the fellow aficionado on the channel, how excited were you when you saw them sitting around watching the Golden Girls?
That was the best part of the entire movie. I was a little iffy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still feeling this movie out. But as soon as Saturday night rolled around and Laura Jean and her little sister were hanging out on the couch watching Golden Girls, I'm like, Laura Jean is my girlfriend. This movie is.
So we know there's a sequel, but there is one other thing that bugged me about the movie, and it had nothing. It really didn't bug me until like the day after.
It has nothing to do with the Golden Girls.
No, it had nothing to do with the Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
Yeah. No, dude.
I will say when I saw the Golden Girls, I immediately thought of Larry. I was like,
yeah, like it made me laugh, Larry. But the blatant Subway product placement, like if you have to bring up Subway 3 times in your damn movie and actually show it off at least once, like we get it, bro. They paid you to be in this movie. Like it wasn't anything that took away from the quality of the movie, but it was something that you notice when they keep bringing up Subway.
Maybe they just wanted to eat fresh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that because you know what, as a teen, my conversations often centered around Subway.
I got a Subway craving.
Yeah.
The text she had.
Podcast. Because we just brought him up like 3 times too. Good.
We're secretly sponsored, not by Subway.
Yeah.
Jimmy John's. Freaky fast.
Freaky fresh.
Sub party.
Sub party.
Sub party. Woo.
Sub to each other's channel. Let's get a Subway sub party going in here, just for
Dude, no one wants Subway. Nobody eats that much Subway.
Right. So
you have Subway once, and you're like, all right, I'm good for like a month.
God. No. Nothing every once in a while beats the cold cut combo.
Yeah, that's like once a month. You eat a cold cut combo, and then like if somebody asks you a day later, hey, do you want to go to Subway? You're like, nah, bro, I'm good for like a month. I just had Subway.
I gotta say, if I'm thinking of sandwich, Subway's probably the last place I'm going.
Yeah, like it's okay every once in a while, but I just don't trust a place that smells the same everywhere you go. Like no matter where you are, you walk by Subway, you're like, that's a Subway.
I smell like Subway now because I was in Subway.
It's consistency. Like you can go to a Subway in Connecticut, you know what you're getting. You can go to Subway in Arizona, you know what you're getting. You can go to that 24-hour Subway in San Diego, you know what you're getting.
Larry, what are you not a champion of? Let's talk about that. You're getting Subway.
You know what?
Larry would shill anything for nothing. Like that's what it is.
No, you know what I feel. You know who I feel bad for with him. So I kind of feel bad for Josh because he kind of got screwed twice.
Yeah, like I was almost expecting the sister to get back with him, but she doesn't.
She's international now.
And let's talk about Josh. You know, he kind of just sat by the wayside the whole time, and he's just like, "Oh, she likes this Peter guy," and just was all sad about it and didn't do anything and just kept watching him. And then she falls in love. What does he expect? He just needs to move on. Like, get out of here.
Hey, the sister might be available.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe he goes for Kitty. Yeah.
Kitty. Meow.
Yeah, Kitty. She's super popular though. Like I don't know if she can he's gonna keep up with that.
School. That's all she cares about.
Yeah.
Like is you drive her to school.
Like he got I really think like if he got that letter and just put myself in that shoes, like you get this letter, this girl's like, oh, at one point I really liked you, but then you started dating my sister. Like, wouldn't you try more?
Yeah. Like they're still like best friends. They still hung out all the time.
Yeah, like, yeah, she comes to come talk to you to be like, hey, like this letter, like, wouldn't you bring it up and talk about like, hey,
He let,
I kind of have those feelings too. Like,
he let it go so easily.
Yeah,
yeah,
I will say this movie was totally misleading that way because when it first started, it was all about Josh and like her obsession with him when her sister was with him, and then all of a sudden this Peter guy shows up, and you're like, Peter's just gonna show her why she loves Josh, and then it totally turned into like a Peter movie.
yeah.
Yeah, Josh was a total afterthought.
Yeah,
I was surprised too. That was the only plot twist.
right.
As I said, younger Rami Malek got screwed.
Yes. Okay, so Scott, you saw that too. Like it looked exactly like Rami Malek without basically like a droopy face.
Yeah, it was him as younger, like fresh face Rami Malek.
It was Rami Malek basically without like the palsy face.
So yeah.
Well, it looks like Heather agrees too. Josh was an underrated character in the movie. Yeah, I just feel like he was a wasted idea, kind of like Larry said. He felt like an afterthought.
So I honestly think here's the thing, out of all the acting in the movie too, I think his acting was the worst too. Like especially that scene on the porch where he's basically begging her to talk. Like just when they kept on flashing back to him, and basically his lines felt so forced when she basically, hey, I can't talk about this right now, and went back in the house.
She was good in that scene, and he was like overacting.
Yeah.
Like,
overacting.
He went to the Nicolas Cage school of acting.
Hey,
like,
baby girl.
Hey, baby girl. He's like, come back. Like, talk to me. Like, yeah, it was too much.
I'm so sad, but I can't say anything about it.
All this stuff in my face is keeping me from doing it. Yeah, no, like, I completely agree.
That guy's going to have problems for the rest of his life.
Like, in general, it was good. But, yeah, there was... his acting, I should say, is good, but that one scene on the porch was like, you're like, oh damn, like he's going full retard on that one.
Yeah, like I said, it was some weird acting. So, but here's the thing. So, before we get into the kissing booth, like, who do we think is coming back? Like, in regards, and what capacity are they coming? Do you think Josh is coming back? You know what? He's like, no, you know what? I really want Laura Jean. I'm gonna gun for her. That's, and you know what? Screw Peter. I'm gonna try to get behind Peter's back because you know what? I want Laura Jean.
No,
like,
you know what?
It's gonna happen in the second one.
No, I didn't even think of a plot until you said that. I'm like, okay, that's the plot.
Yeah.
So Brian's saying the best podcast so far is us arguing about a chick flick. So I dropped the truth bomb on all three of y'all that apparently didn't watch past as soon as the credits ran. You guys exited out of that. That there's a whole end credit scene that sets up the sequel where little homie from the Model UN shows back up with flowers and the letter.
Oh,
So, and he is now handsome.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
So Scott either really liked the movie and wanted to see more, or
Dude, no, it
too
legit,
much used to Marvel.
It 100% sets up that sequel. Like, it 100% was like a perfect setup of like this whole thing gets resolved, and then one of the one missing letter that they don't talk about in the entire movie, they mentioned that, you know, like the dude from camp gets returned. That one missing letter, dude shows up in person after everything has been resolved.
You're totally right, Scott. Though, because here's the thing: I'm surprised I missed it. I watched this movie twice because, I watched it twice just to make sure I had basically. I wanted to grab all my talking points for the podcast, and like I was even so I missed it twice because, like I said, even like I said, the second time I watched it, it ran all the way to the end. I must have like got up during the credits because at the very end it goes into like DVD like special features because it has like little boxes.
So you got to keep watching. When those boxes pop up, they disappear and then he comes back up.
So I never went past that point. So
I have an observation about Scott here. So if you think about it, the person that was the most heated when this started was Scott at Larry for the idea, but going through our discussion and knowing that Scott was the only one that stayed to the after credit scene, he may have liked this movie the most out of all four STS guys.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, Nate. I do have to bring up this. Travis Moore says there's also a sequel set up for a sequel to Aragon, but we know how that turned out. Yeah, unlike Aragon, this movie was actually good.
Oh,
So
in your face, Aragon.
Oh man.
So yeah, there's that aspect of it. Like John Malkovich hamming it up cannot save your movie, but apparently having the dude from one of the main guys from Sex and the City as the dad does.
Oh, I remember that guy from a little TV show called Northern Exposure.
Yes.
You remember that show?
No, I haven't heard that show mentioned for the longest time.
Yeah, like I think everyone stopped talking about that when it stopped airing.
He was the cool guy on Northern Exposure. Hey man,
He was.
I got the deep 90s TV cuts.
Because me and my wife used to watch the show all the time, so for forever that's Aiden from Sex and the City. So that's all he can be. Like, yeah, whatever. You're the Applebee's commercial guy, but no.
Really, the Applebee's commercial guy. We can off of this. The dad in that guy was way better dad than the dad in the kissing booth.
Oh my god!
I think that can that be our transition point to talk about Kissing Booth?
Yes, we got to talk about Kissing Booth because oh my god, that's an awful movie.
What are you talking about, Scott? It's a rom-com, very similar to All the Boys I've Loved Before.
No,
Ella's mom passed away, just like Laura Jean's mom passed away. She's lusting after a boy she can't have. What do you mean? They both are basically the same movie.
First off, let's just put it this way. In the everyone is overly handsome or hot for a high school person, like the thing about the Kissing Booth that pisses me off is that girl's like, oh, I'm so awkward and things, and she's like a real world 10. Like, really, boys have never hit on you ever up until you show up in a little mini skirt. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you clearly have been hit on way more before that.
But they would have. But all the other boys were afraid of Flynn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's because
because that's the thing.
That was the thing. That was the thing that caused them to stay away. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the whole thing that like they went to like uber rich, uber hot high school.
True. So you weren't feeling that whole opening montage about how I'm nerdy and relatable and like my best friend and I play Dance Dance Revolution all the time. You weren't feeling that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, and the dad in the Kissing Booth whose only concern is, hey, that boy's not very good. You should probably not ride on his motorcycle. Like, show some goddamn parenting, dude. Like,
okay, really kind of going back to I'll tell the boys real quick, just because. Speaking of the dad, one of my favorite scenes that made me laugh is is it Kitty? Is that what her name was? When he was talking to her about being a gynecologist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or is it the feminist girl that was telling him?
The feminist girl, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
the feminist girl he has no response when she's like, "Is it weird that it's a man being a guy?" Like, yeah, that actually made me laugh.
When you were in school, you said to yourself, "I want to be a gynecologist."
Yeah. No, so Nicola, she I think she points out. I think this is my thing. It's the production value was clearly different on a different level, and I think that's honestly part of what the problem was with me, anyways, with the Kissing Booth. So I said I am definitely team To All the Boys, just because like I said I think the production value, like I said, to her point, is exactly that.
I agree.
No, it's production value, but it's also like quality of writing. Like clearly Kissing Booth they understood like this is gonna be a rom-com, no one is gonna love it, and they just wrote it as like, we're gonna take a show that should have been on the Disney Channel, add some sex and drinking, and throw it on Netflix.
Add a lot of sex and drinking.
Yeah.
So right? I'm gonna admit and say that
so many times.
So we have a question in the chat. So how many guys actually know how to hit on hot girls in high school? And I think
none.
I think no one does.
None. Especially not the one that plays Dance Dance Revolution all the time. Like,
I just want to dance.
Guys are typically terrified of women in high school.
Yeah, especially attractive ones. You're just like,
just in general,
dude. Yeah. In high school, the attractive girl would be like, "Hey," to you, and you'd be like, "I'm like, horses a lot." Like,
it's so true. You totally lose train of thought. Like, what? Yep. And just say something completely random. All right.
Yeah. Like, There was lots of cars in the parking lot. Like the autism kicks in like at that point, and it's just awful. But like, yeah, the like, I think they bank too much on the fact that, like, speaking of 16 Candles and To All the Boys, Molly Ringwald being Mrs. Flynn, in Kissing Booth.
What a waste of a cameo, too.
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Such a waste of a stick her star in, right, to bring her back into a rom-com. Total garbage character. Sorry, Molly Ringwald. Garbage.
Yeah, Nicola brings up the point. She's saying that To All the Boys was a book before it, but still, to translate a book into film and actually keep it interesting takes a lot of work, more than just kind of just translating it. It's a way different process. Like, I still think the writing to make the screenplay was way better than Kissing Booth. Like, Kissing Booth just felt like I was watching what, like, a 30-year-old thinks high school people talk like.
You mean like the part when she's in the principal's office and she talks about touching her lady bump?
Yeah, her lady bump.
Wow.
Real quick, I just want to bring up something real quick. I'm going to share my screen 1 second. So look we're going to let Rotten Tomatoes speak for it all. Look at it on the tomato meter, 13%. But let's look at To All the Boys. 95%. It's certified fresh.
Yeah.
So I honestly, like I said, I have to go completely with Rotten Tomatoes and the general consensus on this one, because I think that decided it all for us.
That's better than most Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It's really better than all DC movies.
No DC movie has ever reached that level of certified fresh.
Well, is that really that surprising that a DC movie hasn't reached that level? Unless it's animated. I mean, let's be honest here.
We're saying that Lauren is a better character than Batman.
At a bar.
That just pisses me off.
Look how angry Nate is right now.
Yeah. So Nate's fuming. Here's the other thing that just makes me mad. This movie, I made the point of things like the people's like Uber like couple $1 million house. One of the guys is driving this like nice ass Harley. You got another guy in that movie driving a like late 60s rebuilt Mustang convertible.
Dude, they lived underneath the Hollywood sign.
They live under like, oh, I'm sorry, I care about rich people with relationship problems. Like, the characters weren't relatable in any way, shape, or form, versus like, yeah, the dad's a doctor, but they lived in a normal house and To All the Boys, right? Like, everything ends up like you actually can understand where people are coming from.
Well, speaking to that though, like, so this is the only question I did have. Where does All the Boys take place at? Just because they have all like the city scene cut flashes, and then it's like small town, and then it's like city scene cut flash, and then small town.
For whatever reason, I was thinking it was somewhere in like Toronto. I don't know why, but it felt like
very Toronto-ish.
Very Toronto-ish. I don't think that's where it actually is. I don't think it ever says. I think that's the key piece.
Remember, you kind of see my point though, because it goes from like, oh, like when she's going to the party, it's like flashes of the city life, and then it like goes down to the house.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, where is this? Because they have like the ski trip, so they can go into the mountains and go skiing, and then they have all this other small town over here, and then it looks kind of like California a little bit. I don't know.
So I was really thinking it was somewhere like either like Seattle or Toronto, like somewhere up in that area, like that range.
Real quick though. CC points out one thing for the DC, so she's on for Teensy. Wonder Woman is also is up there with the ratings.
Yeah,
so, okay. We forget about their one like outlier.
Well, don't forget, even though I just hated on DC films, I still love DC. Wonder Woman was good, and I actually did like Man of Steel.
Wonder Woman is also certified fresh, so
93 does not meet To All the Boys though. It's only 93.
Because
our statement stands true.
We have more. They have more reviews, so
still not as good. Lara Jean is better than Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot.
Oh, I don't know if I can agree with that, Larry.
Hey, first off, I mentioned this before when we had first saw Dog. I'm going Team Jubilee versus Wonder Woman. So
DC says Kissing Booth started on what dad by like a 13-year-old, I think.
oh well, it shows in the writing. Good God, the fact that like the character, like here's my problem with the Kissing Booth is I think they like wrote 3/4 of the movie, but we're not really sure which of the Flynn boys she was going to end up with. And so they just kind of wrote the story for her to get to both of them and then figured it out at the last minute.
I think Larry looks like he's been wanting to say something. Larry, what did you... I feel like you wanted to say something. You got cut off for a second.
I don't know what I was going to say. It was something, but I lost it. So
all right. You're like...
Yeah, I don't have the city. And then, I don't know where I was going. Sometimes that happens. But thank you, Nate.
I felt bad.
I will say there were a whole lot of montages into all the boys. I don't know.
Kissing Booth. There was a lot of we're having lots of sex montages.
Yeah. Can I talk about my favorite part of the Kissing Booth?
Yeah.
Do it.
Near the end, they're in that gazebo about to do it, and the creepy security guard, gardener, maintenance guy walks by and just gives the creepiest smile and then just walks away.
That smile was, I'm going to walk around and look through the window and watch.
Yeah, the perverted maintenance guy's like, hey, what's up?
That's like a smile that I would do.
Yeah, it's like Nate's attracting children comment.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
The maintenance guy, like literally, like grabbing like a thing of like garden shears and like cutting a hole in a bush and like speaking.
As Nate says this, I'm about to watch some statutory rape happen. Like, good God.
That was
that was Larry's comment, not Nate's. That was Larry's, where he said he's like, I'm pretty sure that entire movie was statutory rape. The boy goes off to Harvard.
Yeah. Oh, that was stupid too. Yeah, like the really like I don't even know his name. Flynn, right?
Noah.
What?
Noah
Noah Flynn. So as that guy is going off to college, he's like got to be 18, right? This is prom, end of the year, senior year, and little old Elle over there. I don't think she's of age, man. This movie's sending the wrong vibes out to America's youth. Not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
That guy should be in jail.
Yeah. He needs to introduce himself to the neighbors.
Larry protecting the children.
Yeah.
While he attracts them.
It just what it is I just feel like it's like all these rich kids, they're all good looking, like
they all have swimming pools and trampolines.
Yeah. It's like, I don't give two shits about your relationship problems. I hate you because you're driving a rebuilt Mustang. Like, screw you, Lee. I can't get a girlfriend. Bullshit. Like, if you drove that car to any high school, you would have a girlfriend the next day.
He thought no one wanted to kiss him, and then little Miss Hottie shows up and kisses him, takes off the blindfold, an instant relationship.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, Larry and I made the comment about this because I was like, wait, when did Lee get his like girlfriend or whatever? I was like, did I miss that part of the movie? Larry's like, no, it took 3 seconds of film for him to be like, oh, I kissed you, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. And the girl's like, okay. Like,
the boy, I liked it.
Yeah.
He takes off the blindfold, and I believe the direct quote is, I hope you like what you see, and then instant love.
Like,
weird. And I did not like that.
And they walk off holding hands and are now
done. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Carnival games. Yeah, it just the whole premise of like way things happen in that movie are just bullshit.
Horrible. I could write a better rom-com in my sleep.
Larry, I think you already have wrote that rom-com.
Well, I think we've actually plotted this rom-com out, haven't we, Larry?
We have.
We can't talk about it because I don't want someone to steal my idea.
All right,
I have to stop. Cece says she probably had a crush on him and finally got to champ. Stop defending this movie. It's a pile of garbage. No, like they just had to write Lee out of it because they were trying to figure out which one of those two that she was going to end up with.
They didn't not be so sad, right? Like, to go off and like drive his car off a cliff or something. That beautiful thing. But because he has a girlfriend, we know he'll be okay.
Yeah, it was the writing Lee out of the whole love triangle thing.
So has the chat chimed in to tell us which one they like better?
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah, let's let the chat go.
chat go. Which if you've seen these movies, if you only had to choose one, which one is definitely your favorite? And Cece said, "Oh my god, each of you should write a rom-com."
We're in the
rom-com
process.
in the making. We got one. We got a rom-com in the making.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and Emma always says, "Oh, they're all the same formula." Not the one that we're thinking about,
No, this one is gonna blow people's minds.
and it will never be made into a movie. I'm just saying it right now.
We are gonna make this movie. We are gonna make this movie. It may be a B-level movie. Like I said,
Dude,
I will
It's happening.
shoot this entire movie. I will shoot.
Dude, Jeremy, you'll shoot it. Then that makes it a D-level movie, man.
I'll give it some artistic feels.
Dude, but we need Tony Danza.
I'm sure we can actually afford him.
I said you get Tony Danza. Like, so this is how you show him basically. You know what this movie's missing? Tony Danza.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
All right, so
This is the part where we sing TV theme songs.
Nerd says, "I can't wait to see this movie." Brand says, "I haven't seen either, but watching after the podcast." I think we've inspired people on Rom-Com Saturday to watch.
Yeah. So first, I will say this: out of everything, To All the Boys surprised the living hell out of me. Going into that movie, I thought it was going to be still a pile of crap, but it ended up being good. Like, it was a surprisingly good movie.
Huh. Like I said, the best thing I can there's so many other movies I can compare it to, but like I said to me, it felt like a modern 10 Things I Hate About You, which like I said, which I loved. I loved that movie back in the day. This felt like basically a modern version of that. Basically, a today's coming of age with basically involving today's problems.
Yeah, and things that, like I said, you would actually think that like today's youth would talk about, like topics that are relevant.
I don't know if you guys know, but I'm pretty in touch with the youth.
Yeah, we all are in our 30 plus years.
Hey man, you know what the kids do? They watch YouTube videos. You know who's live on YouTube right now? The four of us.
Woo!
I feel like we're very relevant and in.
So I know we talk about movies a lot, and we have our little rating system, so we've come up with it. So let's do this. I want to rate both of these movies out of 5. Give me your score.
5.
Larry, go. 5 being the best.
To All the Boys I Loved Before, 5.
Larry, you don't give anything a 5.
Yeah, I've never seen a 5 out of Larry.
This freaking kidding me. This is what gets a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah.
What did I rate Black Panther? Like a 2.5?
Like a 3.
It was a 2. No, you wrote Black Panther was 2.5. You gave To All the Boys a 5. Let's just
maybe a 3.
No.
3.
You can't go back now.
You can't go back after a 5, man.
Okay, Nate.
Wait, I did do my other one.
Oh,
Yeah. Kissing Booth, Larry.
The 1.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was really bad. All right, Nate, go.
So while I agree with Scott that All the Boys was better than I expected, it was still mediocre at best for me. So I'm going to say a 3 for All the Boys. And I haven't admitted it this whole time that you've been talking about it, but I actually didn't watch The Kissing Booth. So I'm going to say a 0 based on what I've heard.
No, you're going to abstain. Like I said, you're
Abstain.
Okay, fine.
You got to abstain from Kissing Booth. Right. Don't go watch it, though. So Nicola says Kissing Booth 1, All the Boys 4.5.
Wow.
4.5.
Scott, what about you? What's your rating?
Oh, no. So I'm the one that initiated this shit. You go first.
So, To All the Boys, a solid 4. I said Kissing Booth, it's a 1. Like, it doesn't hold a candle.
It's
Sorry,
just,
it doesn't hold a candle to Kissing Booth.
Okay, cool.
15 candles to a Kissing Booth?
Yeah.
No.
So, man, I was the most brutal on this one.
So you were.
It's not like I didn't like the movie. It's just not my kind of movie. That's all.
No. So let me go through this. First, the question I have is, can we do negative numbers? Like, have we ever discussed this before?
No, we can't.
Not okay, except for the Kissing Booth.
Kissing Booth. Okay, Kissing Booth, -1.
Oh.
And I'm going to go with Jeremy on this one. I agree with him. I think To All the Boys is a 4. It was
Four.
I as a rom-com, like I could watch that movie again. I mean, you watched it twice, right? Like I could watch that movie again and be fine. Like rom-com aside, it was actually a decent movie to watch. Like it was a watchable movie.
Have you seen a better Netflix original movie?
No, not at all.
It was the best Netflix original movie I've seen.
For movies, yeah, no.
Yeah. What we watched last October, we watched Little Evil with Adam Scott. That was trash. That was awful.
Oh, if you try to compare, if you try to compare the two of them, like no. Oh God, no.
Larry,
Bright with Will Smith, trash. Get out of here.
yeah,
It's all
good point, Larry. It's definitely one of the better Netflix movies, but I don't agree with Scott that it's a movie I could watch again. I don't want to see it again.
I'll probably watch it again before the second one comes out, just to, reacquaint myself with that universe, get back in touch with the characters that I fell in love with. Peter Kavinsky.
So here's the thing. CC Jean says, both 5, but I'm a woman and haven't seen a good, cute teen rom-com in a while. I would literally watch every 1990s rom-com over again, then watch The Kissing Booth a second time. Like, go watch Can't Hardly Wait, a movie that we brought up earlier.
Now, to Larry's point.
Go ahead.
To Larry's point, though, I said it wasn't my favorite Netflix movie of old. Honestly, my favorite Netflix original. I don't even know if you guys have seen this. If not, we should talk about this too. Especially
are you gonna bring up Spectral?
No. I'm not even bringing up Spectral because that was technically a studio movie before it was a Netflix one.
Scott's trying to spoil it.
No, Gerald's Game. If you haven't seen Gerald's Game on Netflix, dude, it's a freaky weird Stephen King movie.
Was that a Netflix original though?
It was a Netflix original.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it was a Netflix original.
Oh, Jeremy, though, The Babysitter. Travis Moore brought it up. That was actually a really good movie as well. That's a contender for best movie on Netflix, I have to say.
It was better than To All the Boys, though.
Yeah, I didn't really maybe I'm just being a hater tonight, but I didn't.
You are
like
a hater
either.
Nate has no romance in his life. That's what it is.
Positive movie rankings.
Say what?
Isn't Nate always the positive one when it comes to movie rankings?
That's where I'm surprised is that Jeremy and I are the two higher ranking ones. I'm Susie
normally
Sunshine.
I'm Team Larry. When it comes to movie ranking.
There's nothing that surprises me more than Larry's 5 on All the Boys.
Yeah, To All the Boys. The first 5 Larry's ever given is to a rom-com.
Larry loves Spider-Man. I don't even see him rating a Marvel Spider-Man movie that high.
CC's on my page. Gerald's Game was awesome. Gerald's Game, if you haven't seen it,
it's great.
It's freaking awesome.
Gerald's Game is great. Like, I just didn't know that was a Netflix original, to be honest with you.
Netflix original. That was, like I said, it's such a fantastic movie. Man, now I'm going to watch movies again. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap.
We actually realized that we talked about 2 rom-coms for almost an hour,
and we had some great interactions.
I can't
wait for part 2 when the sequel comes out.
Oh, we are totally talking. Oh, maybe. I think we should do this. Back in the day, this used to happen. So also we'll have to isolate the audio somehow. But I think basically maybe the STS guys should have an online viewing party of the sequel. So basically, we all coordinate with basically the people that want to watch, so we can all watch it together.
So I add that thing. I still think that we need to do the STS guy commentaries for movies. So let us watch a movie with you guys, but we'll just record a commentary that you can watch while you're watching the film.
Yes. And Nicola's keeping us honest. We got to wear PJs when we're doing this.
Oh God, yes. Like I'm wearing the onesie with the butt flaps. I have one.
Yeah, let's find onesies.
Dude, no, I have one with the butt flaps.
No, I don't want to see that, Scott.
No, we need new ones.
We need matching. We all need to wear the same one.
Yeah. Oh, I will find us matching onesies.
Yay!
Larry, you know you're excited.
It's going to be worse than the time we decided to buy Ghostbusters jumpsuits.
First off, I just found my wife is like, "What are you going to do with this?" I was like, "Dude, I can't return it. I have no idea what to do with that thing."
Is that it on the back table back there?
No. No, it actually is. She put it in there. There it is.
That's awesome.
That is the Ghostbusters onesie.
We've had
my God, I didn't realize that was brought into the room.
We've had a lot of crazy ideas. That was the worst crazy idea.
That
For
was
us to dress up like really shitty Ghostbusters and go to Comic-Con, yeah, that was an awful idea. And we all spent money on it, which is the worst thing.
well. Here's the thing: you can't return that shit.
Dude, I lost it for a while. I forgot where it was.
I slept on it, and I missed the window for Amazon returns. So
I'll use that for like working on the car or something. Like it's still a jumpsuit. I can still wear it in some aspect. I just need help getting it off because I bought a size too small.
I love how Scott's spinning this. Like, don't worry, guys. I can just fix my car with it or something, you know?
Yeah, except for the fact that I need help. Like, I thought I was going to die the day that I tried it on when they sent it because it's a size too small. And I got it on just fine, but taking it off, I was like, got my arm strap like behind me. And I was like, oh God, I'm going to die this way.
Everyone can help Scott get it off. Email Scott at stsguys.com.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, Scott, to your point though, so the one I ordered was also too small. I literally looked like Fat Mario.
It's me, a Fat Mario.
I looked awful.
Is it Wario, just Fat Mario?
Fatter Mario.
Fatter Mario.
And evil.
Because I'm going to say, Mario's got a little bit of a belly.
Yeah.
He's not skinny.
All right. So for like I said, we got a lot of stuff coming up on deck for you guys.
Next week.
Nothing's going to beat the Rom-Com episode, to be honest.
Larry's got to do a shill here.
Oh, well, what are we going to talk about next week first? Anything coming out maybe next Friday?
Yes. Thank you, Larry. There is something big coming out next Friday. It's actually coming out Thursday at 9 p.m. if you order it from GameStop. But
Nice.
Spider-Man PS4, I know me and Jeremy are getting the PS4 Pros with Spider-Man. It comes with the game. It comes with a customized PS4. I'm super stoked.
I'm stoked because I will now have a PS4 that works.
Yeah, one that doesn't just randomly boot you from parties after like 35 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys can expect a lot of streams that weekend, a lot of Spider-Man streams.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get it that night and play pretty late. Yeah, I'm excited. Speaking of games, I want to do a quick shout out to a game, Into the Breach on Nintendo Switch. It is really freaking good. And if you buy it from the Mexico Nintendo store, it's only $8. I really recommend it. I had to say that because I've been playing it a lot.
Wait a minute. The Nintendo Mexico store?
Apparently it's on sale in Mexico.
Yeah, so the coolest thing about Switch is that it's not region locked. You can create an account in any region you want and buy the games from that. And the cool thing is that there's deals on specific regions. So that game, for some reason, is on sale on the Mexico store. So I'm just doing it for the discount. But you can play it on your US account, no problem. It's easy.
Bueno.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Well,
Bueno.
we're keeping Scott up because he's yawning.
Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry, guys.
I just want to say that if you'd like to check us out on Instagram, you can find us at STS Guys. We're on Twitter at STS Guys. You can even follow us on Facebook at the STS Guys, and I am Larry from the STS Guys.
What is going on with that Batman's face? I'm sorry, Nate, show that back up here. That is like constipated Batman.
He's angry, Batman.
That is not angry. That's like, I haven't pooped in 4 days.
All right. So for episode 51 of the STS Guys,
Thank you for
I have been Jeremy.
That was amazing.
travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And a confident
And I'm Dick Trickle. I mean, Scott. Have a good night, everybody.
party. He invited everyone you knew. You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.